Welcome. This channel is for teaching people positive self-esteem and how to be free. Knowledge is Freedom Publishing presents Neil, the Crazy Inventor.
Learn the game of life and learn everything you can to be able to survive in our society and teach it to your children and teach it to people around you. So we all know how to survive in our environment, because the government schools and the society is not teaching us anymore. So this one is on sleep. And sleep, most people don't understand what sleep is, and I certainly didn't. I was watching a program on sleep, and that's where there's a documentary, and that's where I learned part of what I'm going to say. And then another part I learned years ago as an athlete. And that was the first part as an athlete, was that the body itself, when you are using it, building muscles, lifting weights and things, and as the muscles, you think you're building these muscles, what you're actually doing is breaking them down. They're breaking down and getting weaker and weaker and weaker until they can't perform anymore. Well, then you lay down and you sleep. Well, in your sleep, while you're resting, the body is working really, really hard to rebuild the muscles that have broken down, and then to make them even bigger and more resilient. So that's one reason that sleep is unbelievably important, because if you do not let your body recover, you get sick. Okay, the next thing is what I learned from the documentary, and that is that the brain itself doesn't have any blood flow per se to it, and so to be able to clean it. And so the brain is cleaned, it cleans itself while it sleeps, while it goes through the different cycles of sleep, the dream cycle and so on and so forth. And it'll actually go back and forth, very much like a modem for the internet, where you see the lights light up at the beginning and they go back and forth. And that's how the brain is working to clean itself while it's also building the body. I had said that the brain cleans itself during sleep also. And because of this, if you don't get enough sleep, then your brain gets really cloudy. And you know how that feeling is, the cloudiness. And that's why it's cloudy, is because the brain's, for lack of a better word, it's dirty. And so then you don't make good decisions because your brain is cloudy. So you also need sleep to clean your brain and to be able to think straight. Well, this is so important that you teach your kids this, because as you grow older, the body doesn't recover as fast. And so if you continue to push yourself as hard as you did when you were in your 20s, let's say you're now in your 30s, and trust me, there's a massive difference between 30 and 20 in the way the body is able to heal itself. So you need to get a little more sleep than you would when you were 20. Well, then when you're 40, the same thing. You'll need more sleep than you needed when you were in your 20s, or rest, in order for the body to heal itself, because it's going to break down. If you do not let it heal itself, then it doesn't completely build itself back up. And so when you get up the next day, it's not completely done. And so you're starting to break down muscles that aren't even healed yet. So over a period of time, this just breaks down more and more and more until your body just becomes weaker and weaker. And if you do not respect your body and you push it past that point, you will get sick. And I know this from several sources. One is my father. My father pushed himself, I honestly don't even know how old he was at the time, but I think he was in his late 40s, early 50s. And he pushed himself so hard that his body didn't recover, and he came down with a disorder called, I almost said myasthenia gravis. He came down with myasthenia gravis. And myasthenia gravis is a form of muscular dystrophy. It doesn't affect the muscle and it doesn't affect the nerve, but it affects the joint between the two, so the signal can't get across, and he lost his health. And when he lost his health, he never regained that health for the rest of his life. And he was a relatively young man when this happened. Lady Linda also worked in Nashville, and she worked with some of the stars as well as people that were behind the scenes, and she personally knows two of these people. Now you can imagine you're in Nashville and you finally made it, and so you just start pushing and pushing and pushing, and you don't get the rest that you need. And they came down with rare disorders also, just destroyed their health, and their health has never been the same. The last one is Michael Flatley. Michael Flatley of Riverdance, the Irish Dance, and Lord of the Ring. Absolutely incredible. If you ever get a chance to see it, you've got to see Lord of the Ring. It's Lord of the Ring or Lord of the Dance? Lord of the Dance. They also said something's Lord of the Ring that he does too, but Lord of the Dance. Get a hold of Lord of the Dance, because I don't like watching people dance. Now, I'm not going to sit there and watch them dance. And this thing is so incredible that by the time I ended it, it's like, that was amazing. And I'll watch it again and again and again. So if you have an opportunity to watch that. Well, anyway, Michael Flatley is the man who came up with it and starred in the show as the head dancer. And he pushed himself so hard that he came down with a rare disorder. And to my knowledge, his health has never been the same. He certainly has never come back and really danced again. He was on one show that I know of and showed that he was able to dance, but he doesn't do any shows or anything. And he broke his health. So basically what I'm saying here is that now you know what happens during sleep, why your body needs the sleep, and how it needs more sleep as you go forward in life. And you have to, even though your brain says, oh, I can go on and I can go on. No, you have to respect your body. Teach your children this and realize it for yourself. And keep your health. This is Neil, the crazy inventor, the little boy all grown up that was taught that he was a slave and never achieved anything in his entire life. And one person changed his life using the techniques used in this book. Simple little techniques to unprogram little Neil so he could be free. Set yourself free. You're amazing, and I'll prove it.
To learn more about Neil G. Brownell's book, You're Amazing and I'll Prove It, Simple Analogies to Unlock Your Life, click on the link below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe to get more You're Amazing videos.